There were so many Miku figures that were announced in this recent Wonder Festival. And out of all of them, do you know which one is the best one? This one right here by Max Factory. Because this is a multi-purpose Miku figure. You can use this figure as a tampon holder as well. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven from X Kurogane Studio. This recent Sunday on the 12th of February, it was Wonder Festival 2023 winter season. So there were a lot of figures that were being announced. Good Smile went nuts with their Nendoroids. I think there were around 150 of them being announced or updated. So it was a crazy amount of figures, and we are not getting into Figmas, scale figures and so on. But with this video today, I'm focusing on scale figures only, including pop-up parades. If you want to check out the entire coverage, head over to my Facebook page and you can go through every single post. They are often divided or separated based on the company, the manufacturer. So do check out my page if you want to see most, if not all of the figures over there. So with today's video, I'm going to focus on the major highlights of this event, as well as a few of my personal wish list, what figure I would love to have or I would pre-order or buy after release, something like that. The three major takeaways from this Wonder Festival. Number one is that Blue Archive is on the rise. In fact, it feels like characters, anime figures of Blue Archive are overshadowing Azur Girls Frontline, Fate Grand Order. Yeah, there were so many Blue Archive figures and I really love the character designs. I'm starting to become really attracted to it. I already pre-ordered Asuna by Max Factory, by the way. The second takeaway would be, it is anniversary galore. Anniversary here, anniversary there. Number one is Miku. I think it is her 15th anniversary or something like that. So there were a bunch of Miku figures. Shakugan no Shana, which is a classic anime, one that I highly recommend if you haven't watched it before. 20th anniversary, out of nowhere we got a couple of Shakugan no Shana figures. I love it. Number 3 would be Bridget galore, where suddenly everyone's making a figure of Bridget. From Guilty Gear, there are at least like 6 or 7 scale figures, and not to mention Nendoroids. So these are the main 3 takeaways, but let's go through the main highlights of the figure one by one. I have over 126 pictures over here, so that would be around 60 figures. I chose 2 pictures for each figure. Let's go. I do apologize if the images are rather small or low res because, well, that is all I could find on the internet in the recent couple of days. The first one over here. From Blue Archive, we have Kasumizawa Miyu from a figure company called Elegant. Never heard of Elegant. I don't know what their figures are like, but anyways, this is one of those lolly in a suitcase scenarios. I've seen a number of figures where you have a cute character sitting inside a suitcase. Not a new concept, but I do like what I'm looking at over here. The character design, the pose, I think it's very dynamic. I'm not sure if I would go for this figure, but it has my attention. Interestingly, her rifle is being wrapped up in some glove or something like that. And there is a floating binoculars over there. Yeah, and a tumbler around her right leg. Is that the tumbler? Should be. Anyways, I like the pose. The next one over here from a figure company called Neon Max, which should be a Chinese brand. We have Kosaka Wakamo from Blue Archive as well. This is so badass. I love this one over here. This reminds me of a Gurren Lagann figure. I think it was Yoko from Alter more than a decade ago. The same exact pose over here. And that isn't a bad thing because I love that pose. Now that this figure has a mask in front of her face, I'm not sure if we are going to get a separate head or faceplate where you can remove the mask, but regardless of whether that is an option, I think she looks great with her mask on. I wouldn't mind displaying the figure this way. This looks fabulous. On my watch list. Next one over here from Spiritel, Mikamo Naru. Blue Archive as well. This is amazing and I really like that tsundere blush in her face over there. That looks like a bar stool. Yeah. Yep, should be a bar stool. And the entire setup, the stool over there and the base, which looks like some gold coins. Oh, something would see in a casino, I presume, which is very nice. This figure would go really well with that Asuna figure if they are the same scale. This one is also on my watch list. I really have no idea whether I should go ahead and pre-order it or wait for after release, but I really love what I'm looking at with these Blue Archive figures. Next one from Spiritel as well, Xiaomi Iori. So out of all of the Blue Archive character designs that were made in a figure in this event, this is my second favorite. After that Wakamo by Neonmax, this is my second favorite character design. Twin Tails, Loli character, and look at the base over there. We have brakes, we have a tire over there. Simple diorama base, I love that a lot. They don't take up a lot of space, yet, yeah, they look very unique. Not that plain plastic disc, so I really like this figure. On my watch list as well, but this is one of those figures where I might actually purchase and not just really a wish list anymore. The next one, this is by Elegant, Shirasu Azusa, Blue Archive as well. This looks a bit, it doesn't feel like a Blue Archive character to me because I can't see any armament, no rifles, no machine guns, nothing else. This feels like an angel in an isekai anime, something like that. It feels out of place, but I don't know Blue Archive characters that well. I don't play the game, so we shall see after the figures being painted. Those boxes she are sitting on, yeah, those are must be rifle cases over there. That is all on Blue Archive. We move on to Guilty Gear, where this entire event feels like a conspiracy to me. Like every figure company are conspiring to make a figure of Bridget of their own. So we had 6 or 7 of scale figures being announced, in addition to Nandroids and Figma, I think. I forgot. This one right here is by Broccoli. Broccoli is a B-tier company, a figure company that makes average figures. In the past, like 5 or 8 years ago, their figures are almost grade C, which is like no B full Forts Japan level, but they have gotten better over the years, but they are still pretty average nowadays. So this one over here is by Broccoli. Nice base though, and at least the face looks pretty okay. It looks pretty nice. So it'll be interesting to see how the final product turns out. The next one over here, Mimeyoi, Chinese brand, they announced that they will also make a figure of Bridget, but no prototypes yet. Fats Company is also coming up with one, no prototype yet. This is a pop-up parade. So if you are interested in a pop-up parade because it is low cost, wait for after release. Don't pre-order it too early. Should be on pre-order soon given the product looks rather finalized to me. QuestQ has also announced a figure of Bridget, no prototype yet. Oh yeah, that is the prototype, that picture over there. This is so low resolution, and that is the only pic I have, so I think we shall wait for more pictures in the future. This one is by Spiritel. So the base over here, we have some smoke, or is it clouds? No idea at all. This one, the face looks a bit weird to me, or is it a paint job? Because the upper half of her face, it looks rather dark, this region over here. Yeah. Of course, this is a prototype. It is not yet finalized, but the colors in this picture over here, they don't look great. Spiritel, normally they make excellent figures, but this one over here does not give me a lot of confidence, but it is too early to tell, really. Maybe it is the shadows from the lighting, where a portion of the face is covered in shadows. That's why it looks rather dark in these pictures. I have no idea. This is just my guess. This one over here is by Shibuya Scramble figure. So I find it interesting that Shibuya Scramble figure, they have a tendency to make very complicated, huge and messy bases, yet this one is so simple. So I have no idea what is going on. The one that is made by Broccoli, weirdly enough, is more detailed than the base that is being made by Shibuya Scramble figure. Yeah, this is kind of odd, but we don't know for sure yet. Alright, Chainsaw Man, there are 2 figures from Shibuya Scramble figure. This one, this Makima over here, blood stains all over the place, but I'm not sure if I like it. I think there are better Makima figures out there. Then we have this one. This is typical of what Shibuya Scramble would do. this kind of base over here that looks fantastic. However, I don't collect Chainsaw Man figures, so I'm passing on this one, just that I feel that this figure is worth highlighting. Up next, Chun-Li from Street Fighter. This is made by Max Factory. I really like the base over here, but it is kind of odd that suddenly, out of nowhere, we have a figure from Street Fighter. Personally, I'm more of a fan of Cammy, and also Juri, but Juri, that Taekwondo girl, that villain girl, she was only introduced in Street Fighter 4 if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, yeah, I'm skipping on Chun-Li. This figure of Gorgura by Design Coco, I believe she is already on pre-order very recently in the past couple of days or so. Not too expensive actually, around 25,000 yen if I remembered correctly. This is worth having. If you are a fan of Gorgura, pre-order this one, no questions asked. I don't know how the final product is going to be like. I don't know much about Design Coco as a figure manufacturer, but this figure looks amazing, at least based on the official product photos and this sample photo over here from Wonder Festival. This is the only one single Genshin figure announced in Wonder Festival. Wonderful Works is making a figure of Yola. Of course, I'm going to pre-order it on day one, no questions asked, but we are still a long way to go. From announcement all the way to the figure being ready, painted, and up for pre-order, if we are lucky, we'll see it on pre-order in 6 months' time. Otherwise, it can be up to 1 year. Which is kind of sad, you know? Why is Genshin, such a popular game, getting only one single figure announced in this event? Like, there are too few figures from Genshin. Yeah, I mean licensed figures, of course. Alright, now we are moving into FGO. Thank God. Thankfully, there are not too many FGO figures being announced in this event, and I think the only ones I'm interested in, there are about 3 of them at most. So at least I can concentrate on, the current backlog, the figures that I want to buy, but, budget limitations. There are not too many new figures being added to my FGO collection list, which is great to see. The first one over here, Ultra Pendragon Lancer by Freeing. This is a B-style 1x4 scale. Anyone's going to bet or guess how much this is going to cost? I would say at least 50,000 yen, at least. This doesn't look cheap, and FGO figures, yeah, it always feels like there's a premium on them. They always cost a bit more. Licensing maybe? I have no idea. Yeah, this looks fine, but this is a 1x4, so don't expect too much details on it. Up next, we have a figure of Karma from Claynel. This figure brand Claynel, it is a part of Revolve, as you can see in the picture over here. Revolve is also a B-tier figure brand. Their figures are okay, but not excellent, not at the level of Alter or Amakuni, But I really hope they don't mess up this figure, because I really want this figure a lot. This is possibly the only figure of Karma in this outfit, this version, that is going to get a figure. I don't see another figure brand making Karma in this similar outfit or design anymore. So Revolve better get it right. I'm interested in this figure. Up next, from this Wonder Festival, my most wanted figure this Wonfest. Lancer class servant Melusine. Unfortunately, it is from Fat Company. So this feels kind of sad, Such an amazing looking figure, and it has to be Fat Company. Come on. I would have accepted Alter, even Amakuni, Quaskill, I don't care, Good Smile, fine as well, but it had to be Fat Company, which I am very concerned because of their track record with hit and miss in quality control. Would I still buy it after release? Would I still pre-order it? I would say 99% yes, despite being a Fat Company figure. No, just order it and pray everything goes right and nothing goes wrong, Up next, we have a figure of Marsh Kirilite from Shibuya Scramble figure. We take a look at this one. Yeah, this is typical of what Shibuya Scramble figure would do. Adding effect parts, giving it a detailed base, and then asking 35 or 40,000 yen for it. I'm not sure what this post is based on. My guess is that Solomon movie. or it is completely an original, I think. If this was based on the Solomon movie, the Solomon arc, then yeah, this is possibly seconds before Marsh Krillite evaporated into thin air after getting blasted with a giant laser beam by Getia. I know some of you Marsh Krillite fans do not like to be remembered of that, but yeah, I wanted to remind you of that for the fun of it. At least she is alive at the end, right? The next one, we have Nobunaga from FGO. This figure was actually announced 2 or 3 years back, but it was by Aquamarine. Aquamarine went bankrupt during the pandemic, and Good Smile seems to be taking over. This figure of BB, yeah, that was also an Aquamarine figure, and Good Smile took over their portfolio somehow. Nobunaga is next, and I'm very happy about it. At least they did not abandon this character. I believe there are quite a few FGO fans out there who were asking for a figure of Nobu. And lastly, I believe this is the last FGO figure for the event. This pair of figures over here, Jen and Modred, I'm not sure if I will go for them, like they are low priority to me, but I am very attracted to them from the perspective of a photographer, figure photographer. They are very photogenic. I would love to photograph this pair of figures a lot. Up next, this pair of Ram and Ram figure over here by Phoenix or Furio. Those of you Yuri fans out there, you guys are going to love this figure over here. Looks fantastic, but I believe this is going to get a 50 plus to 60,000 yen price tag for a pair. Phoenix and Furio are not very kind with the pricing. For me, would I love to have this pair of figure? Yes, but would I go for it? Would I pre-order? My budget says no, I have other priorities. Unfortunately, I would have preferred this pair of figures to be in a 6-9 position, but they are not. Disappointment. Up next, 1x4 scale B-style Usada Pecora by Freeing. Anyone's going to take a guess on how much she is going to be priced? I'm guessing 60,000 yen minimum. Yes, sounds outrageous, but that is totally something Freeing would totally do. Yeah, I'm skipping it. Up next, we have Tamamo Witch. This is also a 1x4 scale B-style by Freeing, and this is going to be incredibly expensive. For one, this isn't a bunny suit in a way, and number two, you have props. A chair and a rifle. This thing is a minimum 60,000 yen for my guess also. Looks amazing, and to those of you who like Tamamo Witch, maybe you might want to pick this one up. For me, I would just tell you guys to go and get the one by Aniplex, which just went on pre-order days ago. Yeah, the one in the black bodysuit. I'm going to get that one. Definitely. Up next, from Azalane, we have Shinano. This is by Good Smile Arts Shanghai. Amazingly detailed, and would I love to have this figure? Absolutely yes. Would I be able to afford it when my attention is on FGO, Genshin, and now potentially Blue Archive? Yeah, very likely I won't be able to pick one up due to budget limitations. Unless I win the lottery or get a huge pay raise, of course. This is a great figure to have, and I think Azalane collectors should really pick this one up. Up next, let's talk about Lycoris Recall. The season 2 of the anime has been announced. A lot of us are very happy people, myself included. So with the figure industry nowadays, anime figure manufacturers, they tend to go for game franchises instead of seasonal anime. Unless that seasonal anime is proven to be very popular, worth the attention, Lycoris Recoil has just proven themselves to be popular enough to get attention from figure manufacturers. Now they're getting a season 2. We are getting more scale figures. Claynel is making a figure of Chisato over here. Chisato, Takina, and also this girl, I already forgot her name. She is the MVP in season 1. She saved the day really. And hey Claynel, where is that old auntie? That single old auntie? I feel bad for her, man. Give her a figure too. Alright, speaking of Lycoris Recall, we have Takina and Chisato. Yeah. From Good Smile Company. These two figures, they don't look expensive to me. I'm guessing under 20,000 yen. Maybe even 16,000 yen only. And in my opinion, they are a must-have. Yeah. I'm going to shake up my budget a bit and go for this pair of figures. I really like what I'm looking. These two are a great pair over here. and they don't appear to be too complex to cost too much money. Up next, we have Shield from Tsukihime. This figure is by Good Smile. Tsukihime is technically under Type Moon, so this is like a 95 or 99%. I'm going to pick one up. I'm concerned about the box though. Like, look at that huge weapon over there. I hope that Good Smile splits it into several parts, along those seam lines. You can split it into 2 separate parts and keep the box small so that we have an easier life with our shipping cost, right? That base over there looks amazing as well, and this figure is so photogenic. I'm going to get one, yeah. There was a Seal figure more than 10 years ago in the mid-2000s by Good Smile as well. Or was it by Alter? I can't remember anymore. I don't have that one, but it is nice to see her getting a scale figure. Up next, Elena from Majo no Tabi Tabi by Good Smile. Yeah, this is perhaps the best looking Elena figure I've seen so far. Will I pick up one? No, I wasn't a fan of the anime. It feels a bit too family friendly, even though, yeah, by episode 9 it became very dark, but I wasn't a fan of the anime. But make no mistake, this is a great looking figure. Up next, yeah, Good Smile is making all of the characters from Ruby as 1x6 scale figures. Yeah, all 4 of them over here, they are 1x6 scale. I don't know how much they're going to cost each. My guess is 25,000 yen on average, because look at those huge bases over there. To those of you fans of Ruby, you really need to pick up this one over here. Yeah, I'm going to skip them, but I'm still excited about this quartet of figures over here. How will they turn out? I believe it will be amazing. 1x6 scale, man. These are big figures. Up next, yeah, let's talk about Shakugan no Shana. 20th anniversary celebration. So we had 2 figures of Shana. This is the first one by Good Smile, and I am very interested. I was a big fan of Shana back then, still am today. The first season aired in 2003. I can't remember what year season 2 was. Season 3 was around year 2012. The ending wasn't that great, but the series had great music. Mami Kawada, Kotoko, very nostalgic whenever people bring up Shana, Up next, alright, this isn't really a highlight, just that I find it interesting or hilarious. Hobby Stock is making a figure of Asuna, and I'm not sure if they are going to base this figure of Asuna on this illustration over here, because there is one huge forehead over there. It looks unflattering, right? That exposed forehead over there. I hope that Hobby Stock does something about, the hair, maybe redesign it a bit, but this looks terrible. At least this artwork over here. Oh yes, there were quite a number of Hololive figures in this event as well, though most of them are either Nendoroids or Figmas. We have Le Darkness over here under Pop-Up Parade, Mori Calliope Pop-Up Parade as well. I feel like I'm looking at Megurine Luka over here. Murasaki Shion Pop-Up Parade, Nakiri Ayame Pop-Up Parade as well. This one is a proper scale figure by Good Smile, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Good Smile or Max Factory? I forgot already. Sakamata Chloe, proper scale figure. I'm guessing 1x7. No scale mentioned yet. This is the second Shana figure I was talking about. This is by Kadokawa in Yukata. So this figure of Shana looks great as well. Looks colorful, very vibrant. I really like what I'm looking at over here. But if I had to choose between this one and the Good Smile one, I think I would go for the Good Smile one, because that is a proper representation of what she is like in the anime. Yeah. This is a great looking figure. Kadokawa, nice job over there. Hopefully the final product is very similar to what we are looking at over here. From Kadokawa, yeah, we have Lily from Spy Classroom. I think this figure was also announced in the previous event. Now she is already painted. This looks like a very cheap way to inflate the price of a figure. I mean, we have a wooden looking base, and then you have a print behind, sealed behind acrylic. Those are very cheap materials, but yeah, an excellent excuse to inflate the price of a figure. 30,000 yen, 35,000 yen maybe. This base isn't detailed or anything special. Next, seems like Angel Beats is still getting some attention from figure brands. This is by Kadokawa in a wedding dress. I'm skipping it. Tenshi is still getting figures in year 2023. This figure by Kadokawa, this is from Arms Note. I believe this was announced in the previous event, but no prototype. Now we have an unpainted prototype. Up next, Nero Claudius by Kadokawa. This one was also announced in the previous event, unpainted. Now we have a painted sample over here. Very photogenic. I would love to photograph it, but would she be high in my purchase list, my wish list? Not really. There are so many Nero Claudius figures out there that I have to be selective with what I buy. Well, if I have a spare budget, of course I would go for one, but the priority isn't as high compared to other versions of Nero Claudius out there. This one over here, this is a figure of King Chan by Fats Company, an original character, and the only reason why I'm bringing up this figure is because she looks amazingly detailed. However, the more detailed a figure is, the more likelihood for Fats Company to screw up the paintwork somewhere. Hopefully they don't. I know that I'm somehow picking on them a bit too much, but this is all based on personal experience over here. Look at the details, man. If you told me this is a FGO character, maybe a caster class servant, I would have believed you, yeah. Somehow, Macross Frontier is also having an anniversary. I don't even remember what year the anime at. So Good Smile is coming up with a pair of figures from Macross as well. This is Rankali. She was crazy popular back then. And then we have Cheryl Nome. I'm not sure if I pronounced her name right, but Cheryl and Ranka, they were crazy popular back then. And there are still fans of them even today, almost 2 decades later. We are also getting a figure of Madoka. This is by Shibuya Scramble figure, so do expect something unique. As you can see, this is an amazing setup for a figure of Madoka, and I think this could be potentially better than the one by Good Smile many years ago, that Ultimate Madoka back then, yeah. Will I pick up this figure of Madoka? No, very unlikely. I'm not really a fan of Madoka. I never liked their art style, to be precise. Now we shall talk about Miku. There were too many Miku figures in this one single event. I'm trying to speed things through over here. The first one over here, this is the 15th anniversary version by Spiritel. Looks rather detailed, but we shall see what she is like after painting, right? The next one, yeah, this is the one I called her a tampon holder earlier. This is by Max Factory, and this is Hatsune Miku Blue Archive version. Interestingly, so I wasn't aware that there is a collab between Vocaloid Miku and Blue Archive. So yeah, we shall see. Is that a cruise missile she is holding? Is that a missile? I have no idea. This Miku here is by CA Works. CA Works is under Kadokawa. This is a perfect Chinese New Year decoration in the home, I guess. Incredibly adorable. I really like it. This one is by Good Smile Company, and this is one of my least favorite Miku figures in this event. Yeah. The proportion is weird to me. Yeah, she has always been a slender character, a slim character, but this is borderline anorexic. I don't like the proportions over here. This figure of Miku is by Hobby Stock. There are a lot of stuff going on around the base. This doesn't look cheap. I am guessing at least 35,000 yen over here. And we have another one over here. This is also by Hobby Stock. I don't know if this and this are the same figures. I don't think so. They are 2 separate figures. So Hobby Stock is making 2 separate Miku figures over here. This is the Digital Stars version. Next we have Racing Miku Private version. Doesn't look very racing to me. This is more like a vacation version. But anyways, this one was announced in the previous event. Now she's painted. This is very similar to that Artoria vacation version figure by Aniplex a few years back. Yeah, similar vibes going on. This figure of Miku over here is by S-Fire. S-Fire is the premium scale figure division of Sega. So we shall see. This is one of the less attractive Miku figures announced. There are so many of them, so this one doesn't stand out as much. This one over here, I couldn't even tell this is a Miku figure until I saw it in myfigurecollection.net. I saw the entry. This one is by Spiritel. Well, not really a fan of the design of this version of Miku. This one is also by Spiritel. Spiritel is making 2 or 3 Miku figures. Not really a fan of this as well. This feels like a decoration you see on a birthday cake. Well, appropriately for 15th anniversary, right? It feels like a cake decor to me somehow. I don't know why. Maybe because the throne she is sitting on looks like it is made of icing on a cake. Yeah. Not a fan. This is just the regular good old Miku sitting on a very fancy base, and so that they can charge you more for it. That is about it. This is also a Miku, and if not for the outfit or the colors, I wouldn't even recognize this is Miku. This one is by Tenitol, which is the affordable figure division of Furio. So this thing is going to cost like 6,000 yen at most, I'm guessing over here. Yeah, doesn't look like Miku to me. Maybe it is just an art style. Up next, Miku Wafuku version by Good Smile. Yeah, Good Smile is making 2 or 3 Miku figures. Very ordinary, doesn't feel special to me. If I were you, I would go for the vacation version earlier, not this one over here. And then this one is another Miku figure by Wonderful Works. This is the best picture I could find, unfortunately. This is also a vacation version, maybe a variant of the very same 2021 version by Good Smile earlier. Yeah. So which one will you pick? This is the last Miku figure, I think. This next figure over here, yeah. I'm actually curious, is Fat Company going to make everything inside this picture over here? Well, at least the computers and that bed over there, it looks like a dental chair to me, a very high-tech looking one. Is Fat Company going to include everything in the figure? Because if they are going to do it, man, I can imagine the price, 60,000 yen. Perhaps even higher if those in the background are also included, right? I have no idea what character this is, I can't really tell. So there are a number of girls frontline figures in this event as well, but they are being outshined by Blue Archive. This one has my attention. I can't really remember her name. I really like the details we're looking at, but we are talking about Fat Company over here. I don't know how the figure is going to turn out. Would I love to have this figure? Absolutely. And the only reason why I wouldn't go for it is because of budget limitations. Money is the root of all problems, right? This is another girl's frontline figure, which I like a lot. However, this one does not look as detailed as the previous one. Up next, Ilya Orstein from Princess Connect Redive. This is by Fat Company. I'm not interested in this figure at all. I'm bringing it up as a highlight because of how attractive she looks, how detailed she is. I am a fan of high detail characters, high detail figures in general. Yeah. Up next, we have a figure of Tokisaki Kurumi from Fat Company. Yup. I think this one was already announced in a previous event as well. Now we got a prototype. And I really hate those transparent plastic rods holding up her dress. I really hate those things. I know that it is unavoidable in some cases, but man, I wish they are not there if possible. Up next, this is Shirogane Noel by Fat Company as well. You know, Fat Company is picking up all these amazing characters, sculptures from, the sculptors. Man, this is one of those figures where, I wasn't that interested in the character, but you put one on my desk, you ask me, do you want it? Yes, I do. I love anime characters, anime girls with armor, with weapon. So a character like this really appeals to me a lot. Man, I love this figure. Yes, this is already a prototype, but I can already see paintwork errors all over the armor over there. The gold color trims, they don't look very refined. There is some paint bleeding going on the shoulder armor over here. Yes, this is a prototype, this is not the final product, but this is what Fat Company would typically do with their figures. Up next, we are getting a trio of Cyberpunk figures under the Pop-Up Parade series. It will be interesting to see how they turn out, though I'm not having high expectations. You see, this one over here, the sculpt, the face already looks really weird to me. Let's enlarge it. Yeah. I really hope Good Smile fixes the face. I'm not sure if it is the eyes or something else, but the face doesn't look right to me. And finally, the lolly, of course. Come on, give us a figure of her with a middle finger. Right, up next, this scale figure of Ayanami Rei. I don't even know why she made it into my highlights. I think that she looks photogenic, that might be why. This is a very simple figure. After so many years, almost 3 decades, well, Evangelion is like evergreen. They are always popular. There is always new figures coming out. Yeah. Alright, the next one, this one over here, this is a figure by the Chinese company called Rebos. I assume that this is an original character and this is based on Chinese folklore. I don't even remember what this creature is being called anymore. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this, yeah, the amazing details on this figure. This looks fantastic. Not something I would buy, but I certainly can admire the sculpture, the details that are going on with this figure over here. Up next, we have Belle from Ryu no Sobakasu no Hime. This is by Good Smile. Of course, the reason why I'm bringing up this figure is because of the details. Personally, I'm not interested in the figure at all. Yeah, she is wearing a garden. Yeah, her dress, flowers everywhere, leaves. We shall see what the final product looks like. Up next is a figure by SkyTube, Meido Buso. I find this very interesting. A crossover between Maid and Mecha Musume, you know. I really like the character design. And that expression over there, looking at you with contempt. What are you staring at? I know my armpits looks fantastic, but hey, because they look fantastic, that's why I'm staring at them, right? Up next, the only Amakuni figure I'm bringing up today, Akiyama Rinko from Taimanin. Was it Taimanin Asagi, I think? Excellent H anime, excellent X-rated game. I love the NTR that's going on all over the game. Would I love to have this figure? Yes, absolutely. We shall see. That shiny back end over there, that shiny weird. Man, I love that. This figure right here, this should be the second last figure, I think. Mihono Bourbon by Good Smile. She is from Uma Musume. Do you know what was my initial impression when I first saw this figure in Wonder Festival? I thought I was looking at Aikizuna. Yeah. Feels like looking at Aikizuna, but no, this is Mihono Bourbon. And lastly, Rice Shower from Uma Musume as well by Good Smile. I like this one a lot more than Mihono earlier in terms of character design. But yeah, I don't collect Uma Musume. This concludes my highlights coverage for Wonder Festival Winter 2023. Which figures are your absolute want list? Which are your wish list? Please do let me know down in the comments below. Share with me what do you want from this event. For me, this event feels okay. I don't feel too badly poisoned. The amount of stuff I want badly, well, not too many of them. And then the others, they are kind of like 50-50 possibility kind of thing, you know. So I'm pretty satisfied with what I got with this event. Are you happy with the figures that were announced in this event? Yeah, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, please do consider giving this video a like and subscribing to this channel for more anime figure content in the future. I would really appreciate your support over here. Thank you very much for staying with me all the way to the end, and I shall see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.